Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Under Construction. This is episode, I don't know, 21 maybe? 21. And, this week, we're here in Olive, as we always are. So, real quick, and this is something interesting that I noticed. I'm gonna turn down the music a little bit more. It might be too quiet, but I don't know. So, as I do, I normally read the comments an hour into the show, and that might not be what I should do. Also, I just realized I can use copy-paste on this. If I fill out one block, I should do that later. Anyways, I read the comments an hour into the show, usually. And I read the comments from the previous Under Construction video, and that's it. I just read those because I'm normally expecting comments about the route, or about whatever. And this week, I ended up with a lot of comments that were posted on the Zombie Train video, and I responded to them as I do with comments posted on the Zombie Train videos, and that was with just a written out explanation, although some of them were quite thought-provoking. So here's the thing, and I want to say this right off, A, to encourage people to comment so that I can talk to them. I'm going to respond to the comments at the top of the show, as in right now, and B, if you want me to talk about a comment, or just talk about something, if you want to get a verbal response from me, so that we can have a little back and forth and I can put some nuance on it, some real thought into it, then comment on one of these. Comment on an Under Construction video. Also, because of the fact that I got so much in the way of responses from, or, on that video, what I think I'm going to do is for future, I'm going to let the Zombie Train sort of be its own thing and stop doing route reviews on the under the Zombie Train header and do them under the Under Construction header, because I think that's a better place for them overall. When we only had the Zombie Train, it of course made sense to not do that, to have them... What the hell? Oh, gravel. To have them sort of... Let's see which way this is facing. Okay, good. Okay. Move that. But, it made more sense to have it there because it was the only series, and it sort of evolved from doing it, with, what's the word? Having the live commentary and the driving and whatever. I sort of did that in the original Train series. I did it all in one, because there I wasn't doing a lot of building. I was doing mostly troubleshooting with, hey, what's wrong with the route today? And what's wrong with the AI, and how can we fix that, and blah, blah, blah. I did a lot of that kind of work. And that wasn't a problem, because I could just transition back and forth. Then when I started working on the Tamaros, Vale, and Anaconda Railway, I started doing just mostly hardcore building, and I got some responses like, hey, how come, are you going to drive trains anymore? And I realized, like, oh crap, that's not a thing I've been doing lately, so I'm going to designate some time to do that. And I designated, once every 10 episodes, we'd have a sit down, and we'd just drive trains. And I think that worked for a while. Oh. Well, that sort of works. Okay. I'll take it. Nobody will notice that it's like that. Let me fix that real quick. So, yeah, I started doing the once every 10 episodes thing. And that's after I started the Zombie Train series. And this was before it was all stories, of course. I'm sure many of you remember that. Before it was all stories, it was just me building and talking. For a while, I had like alternate personalities where I'd do other voices, and they would each do different things. It was sort of to represent the different working on a route thing. It was the different phases of me working on the route, so it was different. Yeah. Can I, like... What happens if I do this? Okay, those guys are, like, right on top. But I think it's okay. Because then we'll take some, and we'll copy it. Oops, no. We'll copy it over here, and we'll rearrange them. And then it'll look better. So, yeah, I said I would get to the comments at the top of the show, but we'll get to them in a minute. Because I'm doing graves now. So, yeah, it made sense that I didn't, like... that I just didn't do that right away, because... what was I gonna do? That didn't make any sense. Okay. It didn't make sense for me to go and basically make a new series for that, because I decided I'd just do it every 10 episodes of the Zombie Train. And the Zombie Train became what it is now, which is story time, basically. Storytelling. And so it sort of had evolved past where it was when I started it. And then it became a little bit odd to do the... Oops, that's not the spline. It became a little bit odd to do the route reviews under the header of the Zombie Train, because they're very much a different thing. They're, you know, they are a route review instead of a story with time-lapse. It's very different format, so it didn't really make sense to have them as the same thing. So, now that I have Under Construction, it makes a little bit more sense for me to try and pursue, or, you know, to try and bring that over here, because it's the same kind of format. It's the, you know, long form talking about whatever and just building in real time. It's not something I do in the Zombie Train anymore. So yeah, that's my thought. I think I'll do that. Questions, comments, concerns, go in the comments, of course. That will mean instead of no Under Construction that week, which somebody was like, oh, why did you not make Under Construction? And I sort of had to explain, well, this is why I didn't make it, because I made a route review instead, and I used the same footage for both. So if I just make the Zombie Train, I don't have any footage for Under Construction. It's just how it is. Here, I think this is varied enough. It's gonna be the last row of graves, probably. If I put some over here, I can put some over there. Alright, well, let's put these guys here then. Let's grab, like, a random slice that we haven't used before, like that. It seems that I put the bigger graves at the end repeatedly, so I didn't really mean to do that. Anyways. Yeah, let's just fill out this graveyard. Whoops! Okay. So we've got a nice full graveyard now. Let's delete some. Some of the bigger ones. Just for the sake of having some more variety. And the smaller ones look better anyways. The big ones are kind of gaudy and obnoxious. It's like the, you know, no matter how you live, our graves will be the same size. And then somebody posts a picture of the pyramids. It's like, wrong. And of course we zoom out, all the graves disappear. But hey, we've got graves now. Okay, so let's go to the comments. And once again, if you guys want me to talk about something, post it in the comments. I'll talk about anything. I will, you know, you give me something, like, totally out of this world, like, you know, here, look at this graph. I'll read it, I'll look at it, I'll be like, hey, what's this graph all about? And I'll talk about the graph. Or, like, something political, I'll go back and forth to somebody on something political. I'll do that all day. Keep all political discourse civil, and don't just throw in something political if you feel like it. I know these are YouTube comments and they normally devolve very quickly, but let's try not to do that. So, for starters, Icer the Blue Lion, you're a freaking genius. For the boats, you could use some railroad ties to keep them off the ground. If there's a rope asset, you could have a few boats in the water and somehow tie them together using a rope asset. I don't know about the rope asset thing. I feel like that'd be a pain because it'd be finicky with a tiny little spline. But the railroad ties thing is genius, and I'm gonna have to do that. So, also, if you have not already, you should download every derelict assets from the DLS, because if the town has a scrapyard, you'll be able to add detail to it. That's right. I love when there's detail on a route, makes it look like it's alive, if that makes any sense. No, it absolutely makes any sense. Alright, it makes tons of sense. It's exactly what I'm trying to do here. Let's see, I should have like a tie. No, I want just one tie. JR, new ties. No, not like that. I want one tie. I know we had... See, we have these, but they're... I'll have to find something like that. I need to look up tie. But I don't download stuff during the... What is this? Kinda would not make it here, basically. Well, it's just kind of sitting on the ground because that's how it does. Let's see if I have something. The tie thing is a great idea. Like I already said a dozen times. But I need to find my wood recycling place. And then, yeah, see, we have JR ties, but we don't have individual ties as game objects. And if we did, I would use them in a heartbeat. God damn it, I should have checked that first. I don't have time, like... So today is one of the few days where I actually had to ride my bike back from the train station. I normally ride it there in the morning, get on the train, somebody picks me up, takes me home. With the bike, of course. And I think that's, that's all fine and dandy. But, yeah, I think I'm just going to put houses in here and then some more shops over here, or right there. I'd like to put more in this area, but I don't know. Okay, let's find a store. What's this? 7-Eleven. When did 7-Eleven come into being? It makes sense to put it here, though. It's right off the freaking... I mean, it has an ice machine, so it's a little bit late for the 50s. Anyways, Sussex Village Store. No, it's a little bit old. Shop fronts. What the heck are you? Okay, you're like the TARDIS. Subway, Dunkin' Donuts. Stores, tenements. That'd be great not here. These are good, except the backs are broken. I don't know what's wrong with the storefronts. If I can find a good set that has backs that I can put here, I'm putting them here. Nope. Nope. Come on, storefronts 2014-something DES. Have backs. Nope. Alright, I guess that's not happening. Storefronts 51. Ah, these have backs. But these are... Oh no, they're not too big. They're actually just fine. I think it's a little bit sort of ratty for this area of town, though. Although it is sort of near... I don't know. See, these aren't what I was looking for now. The other storefronts were better. Yeah, these look a little bit too... These guys are okay, I guess. I know we can find something better, though. So yeah, and so I live on a street that is a hill. And I'm not talking like a you know, little, you know, there's a hill there. It's like there's a hill here, and it sucks to bike back up. So I decided, screw it, I'll just do it. I can do it. I'm not gonna wimp out and walk my bike up this hill. I'm a man. I can handle this. In hindsight, I should have just walked it up the hill, because I got inside. Well, I only made it about halfway up the hill, for the record. I'm not going to pretend that I did it. I didn't do it. I made it about halfway up the hill, then I got on my bike. Or I got off my bike. I walked it the rest of the way. But, I got to the top of the hill, got back on my bike, and went home. That's no bonus points for that. But, I got in, and I was, like, mostly dead. You know, only mostly dead, but still not great. And so I just basically came in and flopped on the couch for a while, and that was not great. It was like I could have started the video 30 minutes earlier, except I had to recover from biking up the hill, and then also I had long comments that I had to answer in text because they were not written on an under construction video. So, you people that are writing comments not on under construction videos that are not related to not under construction videos are like... that are related, that are... Whatever, just write all your comments here, whatever. Whatever, I don't care. Just do it. Now, what I'm trying to say is... You're all terrible people. And I hate you. Oh, that's the wrong thing. That was karma. Okay. No, but you should totally write comments here, people. Because then I get to respond to them verbally, and we get to talk about them. And by we, I mean myself and you guys, I guess? The viewers? I don't know, do you get to talk about them? You can talk about them all you want, I just won't listen. I can't hear you. It only goes one way. Just to clear that up in everyone's mind. The people on the other end of the TV can't hear you. If anyone's surprised by this, I'm sorry. To be serious, though, I did have to take a little bit of a pause to go and write those comments, because I don't want to I don't want to set a precedent where I'm responding to non-under construction comments on an under construction video. And the reason I don't want to do that is because then it's sort of, then I'm not responding to people on the forum that they posted the comment, first of all, because the people, if you're writing a comment on someplace that's not an under construction video, what that says to me is, hey, I want to talk about this thing that isn't under construction. And, I mean, I don't care, you can talk about whatever you like, and I'll respond to you about it. But the idea is, I can respond to anything here, as long as it's posted here, and the other things, or rather, I'm going to respond to anything in the forum in which it is posted. Not forum, forum. So, if you post it here, I'll respond to it like I do in the video. If you post it in text on a building podcast video or a Terminus video, I'll respond to it there. I haven't had a lot of Terminus comments that need to be responded to, but lately. But the idea is I'll do it there, because that way the person that posted the comment gets to see their answer. If you guys are listening to me saying this, it means you obviously listen to this show anyways, so you've got nothing to lose by posting your comments in here instead of anywhere else, because I will respond to them. Again, if it's something sort of series specific, then by all means go and post it, you know, on that series. Like, oh, what's the IP address for the Minecraft server that we do the building podcast on? I try to sort of show that off every episode, but sometimes I don't get to it. And if you want to know that, then the most prudent place to do that is in the description of a building podcast episode. You know, it doesn't make sense to to write it here and then wait for me to get to it when I'm talking about comments. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say write all your comments here always. What I'm saying is, if you want me to have a real talk about a comment and not just give you the basic response when I can, then post it here. You know, I value your postage, I value your comments. I'm sure the posting of a comment implies that you want a response, and I can give you a response. I can give you a response any day of the week. I can only give you a good response on Thursdays when I get home from work. And admittedly, I don't typically peruse comments until I'm about to record Under Construction, and the reason for that is I don't want to spoil the Under Construction comments, because if I really like one, like the "You're a Genius" comment, and I saw this one early, so it spoiled it a little bit. But I want to give you guys a genuine reaction to those comments. Not that it's anything to really write home about, but I'm sure you guys want to know what I really think about them instead of sort of giving me time to contrive an answer. I don't know what I'd really do with that, but again, the idea is you get that immediate sort of visceral response, like the wow, that's amazing, or ha, that's funny, or you know, that's stupid, why would you say that, or you know, the incredulity which may pass when I read a comment that doesn't make any sense. Also gives me a chance to not fumble through it, which, I don't know, that's part of the fun. So anyways, yeah, I should find some railroad ties. If anyone knows a singular railroad tie asset on the DLS, if you can post the keyword for me, that'd be awesome. The thing is, I don't ever read them until I'm ready to make the show, and then once I'm making the show, I don't download anything. Maybe I should just go back into the comments after the show and tell it to download things while I'm preparing the video. That actually kind of makes sense. That makes a little bit too much sense, if I'm going to be completely honest. I can't do that, it makes too much sense. So, you know, anyways, my point is, I'd love to see more comments on these videos as opposed to elsewhere, because it makes sense, you know, especially the comments that are thought-provoking. You know, a reaction comment or something like that to a Locomotive Versus or whatever. Obviously, that kind of stuff belongs to the Terminus. Again, like the server stuff, like I said, that fully belongs in... Ooh, what are these? These look like beach houses. Come with this area. Sorry, I'm distracted now. Beach house. That's right, I was gonna make that a beach block, wasn't I? Whatever. Anyways, yeah, I like having those comments because then I can sort of bite into them and really see what I think about them. You know, from every angle, from immediate angle, and then once I take a step back and go, okay, well, let's think about this comment. Especially if it's something really thought-provoking, like I've said 1,000 times already. You guys are getting tired of me saying the words thought-provoking. These all look the same, though. I need to intersperse these with the Japanese ones. That's what I need to do. Or I need to just plop this sucker right in the middle. Because this is like the beach store. That's what this is. Flanked by 2 identical houses. That just looks like the mob boss's house or something. And then this is his servants' quarters. That's what it looks like to me now. Here, let's just put it parallel so it gives that illusion even more, and then put this guy right here. I need to see these areas where the beach is really steep. I need to either flatten that more or add some like non-beachy looking stuff, like clay looking stuff, because beach sand would never be that steep. It doesn't happen. So I'll add more beach in front of this to sort of compensate. And then add like rocks or something here. That makes sense. But what I should really do is just plateau tool this out so we just have more beach to work with. Everyone needs more beach. You know what they say, if you're lucky enough to be at the beach, you're lucky enough. Alright. We now have a bulge. Oh, that's a little bit better. I wish we had waves, you know? Also, the water is way too placid and it doesn't move, and I need to fix that. I don't like it. Add an environment. Let's see. Water. That is more like it. Choppy water I always liked. Fast ripples. Glassy? No. Medium ripples. Actually, medium ripples looks good. I think I might do that. I've always liked the choppy. I've always used choppy everywhere, but medium ripples looks good. Just having water that moves is way better than not. Let's do the other thing, because I don't like the sky either. Wind strength. Oh, that just moves the clouds faster. Very, very cloudy. Oh, maybe the Clouds USA. I used to love the QLD. I used to use that on everything. I guess I'll put QLD on, and if I get tired of it, I'll put on something else. Alright, let's go back to these houses. Beach houses. Actually, we got another comment. What the? Oh, we have a history now. Uh-oh, better clear that. Dean, have you thought about putting eye portals at each end of the map? And then Ice of the Blue Lion responds, if you talking about the town of Olive, he has put in eye portals already. He did that in the very first ep of Under Construction. No, actually, not quite. I did intend fully to put eye portals in, and it was part of the plan, but I forgot when I put the portals in. Now, these are regular portals. These are not eye portals. Oh, these are long ones, too. These are regular portals. So these can produce and destroy trains. And this is... I'm about to go on a tangent here. And... these don't send trains to other maps. Eye portals do. And I do want to have eye portals, I just don't really have a good place to put them. What I might do is, in the future, if I build the staging area we're talking about, or I was talking about, which I might actually do next, then basically it'll be a completely different story, and I'll have a place to put eye portals and portals alike. Now that again is something I might do, and I might even build it as a little testing ground off the side here. And as well, what's even more... oh, no, shut up, guys. What's even more important is the setting for the route. So, obviously, we're living in a 1950s-ish, Americas-ish, or, you know, United States-ish, I guess. Not Americas, plural. Area. And that, you know, it makes sense, it's fine. But I've been thinking, you know, obviously we have water on the we have water on the west here. So we're sort of on a west coast, but this is, I'm doing very east coast geography and east coast sort of foliage and stuff like that. And all the railroads are based on east coast railroads. We have one, well, actually, no, that's not true. We have one that's most like the Pennsy, one that's most like the N&W, and one that's most like the Grand. And then one that's most like, I don't know, the Warwick Railway on steroids. I don't know what to call the New Shore Tramway. It's its own thing. But the whole idea of it is we're sort of in this amorphous zone that doesn't really make a lot of sense. And while I'm going to be extremely realistic with the route, I've said multiple times that I think the total length of the Gilson Eastern Main Line is going to be about 200 miles. I think I might scale that down due to not the normal reasons, actually. Not like the, wow, this is a crazy amount of stuff that I'm going to have to do. Maybe I should cut back a little bit and not do all this crazy stuff. The reason I want to cut back the size of the route a little bit is one of internal logistics, and I mean like a backstory logistics. So I'm going to have a lot of commuter trains. I'm going to have a lot of trains that are going to come through from north of Olive, so from the next town, which I believe I have temporarily nicknamed Jefferson. I might have a different name for it in the future. Speaking of which, Jefferson's now on the KNL projects, or he's next on the KNL project list, 3713. I'm souped about that. Total coincidence, but there you go. So I've nicknamed the next town Jefferson. Now, I'm looking at the amount of time it will likely take for a commuter to go from Jefferson to Gilson City, which is the terminating point for the commuter trains. And I don't want it to take forever. I don't want it to take too long. And 200 miles means there's about 100 miles between here and Gilson City. Now, that's about coverable in 2 hours. As well, that's not a lot of stops that I have planned for the next 100 miles. And I'm trying to be realistic. Towns, especially in the Northeast, are not that far apart. So I might shrink it down for the sake of realism and for the sake of time, not for drivers, but for commuters. For the hypothetical commuters that we have on this railroad. And so it'll probably do some good or do some bad. All in all, I think it's going to be a more realistic railroad because, like I said, it doesn't make sense that the towns are that far apart for an area that's supposed to be easternish. You know, they'll be pretty closely. They won't be packed, but even if we're running through relatively rural areas, they won't be 50 miles apart. It won't be 50 miles to the next town, ever. It's not a thing that happens here. It'll be like 15 tops. And so, knowing that, I'm not going to go and make them all 50 miles apart. So I'm thinking more like 30, and then I have a couple of intermediate stops planned. The first one I think is going to be called Mason Valley, in homage to A, somebody that's helped me a lot with the route so far, and B, that's done with reskins and stuff. And B, throwback to, well, tell me if you guys can remember where Mason Valley was. Anyways. But yeah, I have a few intermediate stops planned. One of them is a little branch line. I'm not sure what it's going to produce or consume, but it's going to be a little bit longer and more meandery than the olive branch, and it's going to follow a river. So I'm looking forward to building that, but building to that junction, which is going to be Mason Junction probably, or building to that interlocking, I guess, is sort of the next big thing that's on the docket for me when it comes to building route bits. However, and this is something that the mention of portals reminded me of. And I'm not sure if I've actually had this conversation in full length on the air. So in the same way that I am annoyed at general goods, I'm similarly annoyed at portals. I don't have a real reason to be super annoyed at them. I'm not super annoyed at them. I'm just sort of mildly annoyed that they aren't everything that they could be. And that is a tall order to be everything that you can be. In fact, it's kind of impossible by some measures. So, obviously, I'm not going to curse portals and say they're terrible. Portals are awesome and they do a lot of great things. However, with what I'm planning for this railroad, portals can't do everything. In fact, they can't really do much. So, the thought came to mind, and this ties into the location stuff that I was getting on about. The thought came to mind, the thought came to mind to build an off-map, not an off-map, like a literal on-map staging area, like a model railroad would have. And so, to extend, and I actually did talk about this a little bit, but to extend the railroad off the edge of the map where the portals are currently, just basically leave a gray grid out there so that we're not having to scenic all that. Maybe I'll put some jokey scenery out there or something. And so have that scenery there, quote unquote, but just have out there a giant staging yard with all of the trains that the route would need for like 24 hours of operation. And then have them automatically replenish with, special industries or whatever. It would be a whole AI... No, it's what? It would be a whole AI mess that I would absolutely have a blast coding, first of all, but would be a mess otherwise. And the thing is, I could do it off one end, and then I wouldn't really be able to do anything with the other end, because, well, what are you gonna do? It's not like it makes an awful lot of sense to rebuild the staging yard every time I put out a new version of the route, or, a new area of the route, although, because of the fact that I fully expect the route, or, the next version of the route, which is going to be the one with Olive that I put out, to be around in that state for a very long period of time, it actually might make sense to do that. And so, I don't know, I'm a little bit torn. I might build it at one end, I might build it at two ends, but here's the thing with the setting. The reason that the setting spiel was important. In order to differentiate the off-map areas from the on-map areas, what I might do is actually pull a trick from the book of the people who make model railroads in trains. So I might start using dig holes. That's another thing I'm going to have to learn. I might start using dig holes, create an edge to the map, and go from there, essentially. I feel like I should do something with this area right here. This is like a bump, but I didn't. Oh, because it's... Oh, okay. That's right. I was supposed to put trees on this. Sorry, now I'm thinking. Shame on me, right? But no. I will almost definitely be building an off-map staging area yet. It's the question of, so which way do I go now? Do I go... I know I'm going to go along the coast first. I'm not going straight into the mountains. I'm not a lunatic. I've done enough mountain building sort of to last me a lifetime between the Geiger Mountains and the Temeros Vale and Anaconda and the Iron Horseman route as well. I've done enough mountain building to last a lifetime. I intend these to be much more subtle than the mountains that you're used to seeing from me, or just in general. Subtle to the point, subtle like the hills that were in Jader's route that I was like, why do the tracks wrap around in this direction? This doesn't make sense. And then I actually looked at it, and there was a hill there, and I praised him, because that was awesome. That was really good to have the subtle hill. Where otherwise, we're lazy trains players, we just make it flat. I think I'm going to get a hedgerow for this. I get some hedgerows. And I'm gonna put some special trees out on this hill. I'm glad I'm finally seeing this area. But I think that's important to do. I want to go and I want to set up that staging area. And I actually just had the brainwave about the industries, because I was thinking, okay, well, having enough trains for 24 hours is one thing. The ultimate goal is to have enough trains forever. And that's something you can really only do with portals. But the thought is, if I have the trains head off the map, and then get automatically emptied or whatever in a portal, and then have them return, and then have them go to a special area where they will be loaded up with all sorts of commodities. We need to do a couple of tech tests. And we're getting to the point where I'm not sure if I want to do them now, or I want to do them in a future episode, or what. I think I'm going to stick to this now, because doing the tech tests could be kind of involved, and that is something I might want to get other people on stream for. Or not on stream. On chat. Like talking, looking, listening. However, the problem isn't the reason I don't do Sunday driving anymore. One of the reasons I didn't do so. There are a couple, and one of them, the number one reason is actually lack of time. But one of the other reasons is it's such a freaking pain to deal with Tane. To deal with Tane and recording it, and also either streaming it through Steam. Turn those both off. Streaming it through Steam or on Skype. There are a few games that I can do this with fairly easily, fairly reliably. One of these is Kerbal. I do it with it all the time, and it's actually part of the episodes now. But can't do that so well with Tane. That's in a building. So what the hell? Oh, there we go. Like the bad kind of thick, like the dumb kind of thing. I like how thick has gone from a word to describe dumb people to a word to describe attractive people. It's such a strange transition. Although it's, the spelling is different, but, it's what the kids are doing these days. But... So, anyways. I need to do a lot of tech tests, and I shouldn't do them here. I shouldn't do them in Olive, or near Olive at all. What I should do is I should go onto my temp world and do them there. Now, temp world may contain Iron Horseman spoilers. That's something I didn't think of. I might go in there and sort of clean it up before I take people in there. On the other hand, I might not, and just see who notices something if it's off. Maybe I'll actually set something up. Set something horseman-y up, and have people... you guys will be able to pick it out, I'm sure. Give me these red oaks. There we go. Give me that red oak. I want to put trees down where the grass is, but I'm not sure. Like, should I just use the forest trees? I know I like the red oaks a lot. You guys know how much I love these trees. But I'm not sure. I'm trying to set it up like the Providence State House, where it's up on this hill and it's got a lawn and stuff. And these are all like desire paths too, that have been turned into semi-official paths. It's looking better and better. Look at that hill in the background. That makes me so happy. But that's what I'm talking about, like a subtle hill. It's not pointy. It just sort of rises. And I like how when you're zoomed in like this, you can see the hill, and it looks like it belongs. And you've got this, Doc Brown is hanging on the front of this somewhere. And then you zoom out and you've got all this mess that isn't done yet. So much of it is, though. So much of it is, like, everything north of here, or this is east, everything east of here is done. And it's not even like it's effectively done. It's actually finished. I do not have to come up here for anything else other than to admire my grass work. This building is so ugly. It belongs. But yeah, we've got this. The swamp should have grass, right? Swamp doesn't have grass. Actually, swamp's not done. Whoops. Oh well. Maybe we'll do it in the future if somebody asks me to. But does a swamp need grass? I don't know. It's a swamp. It's not supposed to look good. It is close to this though, so maybe I should do it just on the basis of that. Kind of makes sense to do. I should replace these with the other tractors I found. Yeah, there's just that and this here. Nothing else is really going on there. Okay, so what was I working on? Oh yeah, let's go back here. I've been sort of bouncing around. I didn't plan any specific topics for today, or things to work on. So, yeah. So the two biggest tests that I need to do is first sort of a proof of concept test of the. Honestly, I'm going to call it a train stacker. It's what I've called. It's what some people in Factorio have called train yards, and I think in this one application, it makes more sense than it makes in Factorio. Because it stacks up the trains for departure. And it is a yard, but you're not doing any yard things with it. You're not doing any yard-like things with it. You're just sort of putting a bunch of trains in a row and letting them leave on time. It doesn't even have to be a yard. It just has to be a bunch of trains in a row. The problem is, you're going to want a yard because there are other issues that are going to come up with the other... Why am I talking in second perspective? Second person. I'm talking to myself. I'm not going to need... I can do one better. Ellis is not going to need... Ellis is not going to want all the trains in a line because Ellis thinks that he's going to have some other use... Yeah, I can't do that. I'm going to have some other use for those slots, and each train is going to have a pre-described slot, and they're going to leave, and they're going to do their run, and they're going to come back, and they're going to pull into that slot, and then they'll be able to, when they pull into that slot, they'll pull up to a certain point and stop, and then all of the cars that they're carrying around will be filled. That's the part that's got to be the difficult part, because that means I have to set up multiple industries at very specific locations in very specific ways, and I have to have the train pull in such a way that it always stops in the same spot. Now, I don't know how difficult that's going to be. I know it won't be easy, but I'm sure there's some way I can get it to happen reliably. There may be a lot that has to go on to do that, and I probably will stick with portals for the time being, because, frankly, what I'm saying is ridiculous. But I think it could work. I think it could be totally worth it, because then you have an infinite stream of trains that you can mostly control. And as well... Okay, and now I'm thinking about, so if you bring a train in, you swap out a ton of the cars, you have it go back, what do you then do with this train that has different cars than you started when you have to have it repeat the cycle? Well, that's when you have an automated switching procedure, or something like that, where a train comes out of a portal, and basically takes the place of the other one, although that's a little bit strange. I don't know, because I can't trigger a train to come out of a portal, and I can't have an if-then statement for if there's a car here, do this. Frankly, it's just as easy to have disposable trains, which at that point means that it's just as easy to have multiple portals instead of a train stacker. So that's the bit that could be a little bit confusing / concerning, is doing it that way, which means I could have a train come out of the portal, I could have it, the specific portal for that specific train, pull into that track, which is right in front of it for that specific train, and then, sit there for a second, and during that second, fill up with everything it needs from those tracks. Oh, I need to put trees here, too. From those tracks. and then once it's filled up with everything that it needs, depart onto the proper track, or wait a certain amount of time, then depart into the proper track. And that could work. The only problem is, and yeah, that actually totally could work. The problem is then you have to gauge, okay, how long is it going to take for this train to run its route? How often am I going to produce a train? The simple answer is once every 24 hours. But that doesn't work, because you just tell a portal, produce a train every X minutes. And I'm not sure if there's a way to block a train from being produced by the portal. I think there is. If you park a train right in front of it, it shouldn't produce a train. Hypothetically. And the other hypothetically is what we can do is we can just have the block be so short that the train always hangs off, because we can have customized sized blocks, always hangs off the end of the block and blocks the portal and stops more trains from coming out. And so it would try like every minute. And then the initial train, which has a specific delay, leaves, and so it heads out into the line at its proper time. A minute later, the portal produces a brand new train of the same type. It pulls in, it gets filled up, and then once it's filled up, it waits for exactly 24 in-game hours, because these trains will be running once a day. If it runs more than once a day, then we'll have it wait for less than 24 hours, like have it wait for 8 hours if it's that kind of thing. But because all of the trains coming out of the portal have to be identical, it has to be of a rhythm, and not a, okay, the first train is going to be here for, well, actually, first train doesn't matter. First train we can program to do whatever we want. So, say the first train's there for 45 minutes, and then the trains after it that are identical to it come in, like, you wait another 45, and then another 30, and then another 45. You can't do that, because there's one weird one in there. We have to just keep it at 45s, or, 45, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. That you can do. Because the trains pulling out are going to have a specific wait time that is not going to be changeable, unless we use triggers, which is another option. We can't have time triggers, or, well, we sort of can, but we can't have just time triggers that will trigger at a certain hour of the day, unless we have a train, a specific train, that waits a specific amount of time, then moves across a trigger at that time of day. Then we can have it release trains at that amount. That is convoluted, folks. That is incredibly convoluted. Not something I think we need to get into. I think the trees are getting a little thick. I've just spent the last, 15 minutes placing trees here. I feel like I should delete that cap, but I don't want to because I just spent all this time placing. Okay, spin you around. Turn you that way. Yeah, I think that's fine. We have some green areas, some empty areas. This is sort of how it looks. You can't see it so well from down here, but that's okay. It doesn't need to be seen well from down here. Can you see it from the train station? That's a question. You can actually a little bit. You can just see the dome. That's a cool picture. This is a cool picture overall. I should put some cars in the spots then, and a train at the station. That'd be good. I don't have anything reskinned for GE though. Disney Eastern, not copyright, just Disney Eastern. Put trees in here though. And we should be pretty much done in terms of trees. So yeah, that's. I'm sort of going down a rabbit hole with all this computerization thought. I'm not sure if there's easier ways to do it. I know there may well not be. which is the part that sort of vexes me. Is like, there's not an easier way to do this for real. Seriously? Come on, trains, you can do better. Let us program you easier. Let us push your buttons. Alright, so because we have a weird concentration of trees, I'm just going to move them around instead of deleting the extra ones. Because apparently I didn't grab a piece of forest that was foresty enough. Is that a separate tree? Nope, that's just one of the red oaks. And this guy is in the parking lot. Okay. How about that? How does that look? Looks a lot better than it did, that's for sure. I should have filled that whole thing with grass, though. The rat already performs badly enough. What I'm gonna do, make it worse? Okay, you mentioned the scrapyard. Scrapyard's gonna go here. This whole thing, actually, is destined to be a scrapyard. So, you are absolutely spot on with the, hey, you should get some junk to put there. Because, yeah, you're right, I should. Okay. Let's put some more cars down. This is going to be a sort of sage-able thing where I can not worry about it. Well, that's the same car. A different color. Oh, we got a 1935 fire engine. Swag. I think I already put that somewhere. I already was like, oh, this can go here. A Chevy pickup. Put you over. Put you right there. Let's get a brown Chevy. Put him here. Now I want some cars back here. I don't know. I don't feel like doing the car thing. Did I put some like trucks here, right? Yeah, there we go. Some lorries. I feel like I should put some other stuff in the back here. I need to put some track marks is what I need to do, and name some other stuff. That's, you know, a lot of the stuff of what I need to do still is like quality of life stuff. Although I was still putting houses over here earlier. Should probably finish with that. I got like 3 houses into it and left a whole space open. So let's do that instead. I don't like placing cars, it's such tedium. If you guys want me to play some more cars, I'll play some more cars, whatever. I'll do it for you guys. But I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it at all. It's such monotony. Especially in the driveways when the driveways just don't want to be level. Nothing wants to work. Okay, now what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, we've got more Hissed houses. Oh, that's right. I got distracted. Putting beach houses down. Putting down identical beach houses. Which, despite saying they're different, are clearly identical. House Large Victorian. House Honeyset. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the mob boss's house. Sears Bungalow. Let's put down more Sears Bungalows. These are always top. I wanted something like these over there, but I forgot about them. That's gross. They're not great colors. Did I put one of these over here lately? One right there. Let's put the Sears Bungalow over in the corner. Or no, they don't get a corner spot. They got one right here. I'm not sure if a corner would be more valued or not, actually. Can somebody in real estate come and tell me? Any commenters in real estate? Okay, spin this guy around. Actually, he deserves to be over there, like facing the sea. This guy probably owns a boat. And he regrets every second of it. Those are like the Sears bungalows, except sadder looking. What the hell is a Thunderbox? Also, I see this house with workshop. Where's the workshop? Also, that was one of the big mansions. Let's use you, even though you're ugly as sin. Yeah, your HOA hates you, buddy. That is a gaudy color. What the heck is this? This looks Soviet. Maybe in the future I'll use that if I'm building a gulag. This block. Okay. Oh, use it. Minute Maid Park? I blame Kevon for this one. Oh my god, it's enormous. If it was on the DLS, I'd use it somewhere, but it's also totally out of era. Oh, we've got some Minecraft people. Awesome. I don't know what HP means. I don't think these are Hewlett-Packard assets. We've got another power plant. What do you look like? Oh, you're enormous too. Holy cow. Why is everything like the size of the whole town? Hurricane. Plane? No. Ride. Factory chimney. Ice cream. Spin it around. I feel like I already used that one, but I don't even want it. Ice plant. Icing platform. Iduna apartment tower. That looks weird. IKEA stuff. Hold on. Tunnel rocks. Oh, that would be good if it wasn't third party. Scroll past all the industrial stuff. I don't need you. I don't need you for nothing. Come on. Okay. Information board. Nope. Interlocking levers. What is this? Intermodal modified? I should be looking for houses, not whatever the heck I'm about to place. Oh, it's big. Check it out. What is with that road? Okay. What was that for the... Alright, whatever. I don't see why I needed all that road. We've got a Jaguar. Army Jeeps. Jim Corp. Here, we'll put a convenience store on the corner. Technically, it should be like a drugstore, not a convenience store. I think I like the blue better. Let's see if there's anything that really sticks out as like, it doesn't belong here. I mean, yeah, CD, DVD. No. JR things. Appalachia store. Alright, that's a little bit too far in Appalachia, if you ask me. To go here. AccuTool. Arrow Manufacturing Plant. Brick Office. BNSF Crew Building. Here, we'll put a brick warehouse on the corner. There's an organ... There's a place that makes organs in the middle of a... suburb where I live. Near where I live. So... This is not too out of place. I think they still make organs. Alright, here, let me get the... But that fills out the area well enough. We're gonna move this house down a bit though. And then we're gonna put some gravel around. So that's just to get things in and out. And I have a perfect name for this place. Glens, Oregon. Now, I won't spoil what the joke is, but I'm sure some of you which are a fan of a certain Seth MacFarlane cartoon will understand. There. And then I want to put another one like right here. These guys have a pretty measly parking lot. Okay, they've never needed a big one. They're not compensating for anything. Alright, now I need to do scenery for this block. Always fun. I already started. At least that's good. Oh, we didn't put in the driveways for like 2/3 of the houses. Oh, well. You don't need to park. Do you? Yeah? Oh. So, anyways. To go back to the off-map staging thing, or on-map staging. I keep calling it off-map staging because that's what the portals actually advertise themselves as. They say, you know, a powerful off-map staging yard for you, and blah 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 blah. Except we're not using them, we're not making off-map staging. We're doing exactly what the portals were designed to replace. Well guys, you didn't do a very good job replacing it now, did you? Honestly though, portals are super useful. I've used portals without a hitch in like every route to this point. And I'm probably still going to use portals for certain things. Well, I'm going to have to use portals for certain things, such as the train replenishment. But they're going to have a very specific use. The use that I normally go for is the sort of random train generation use, which is arguably their best use. That and taking trains off a map is also useful. And then maybe returning them later. Or somewhere else. But, yeah, that's sort of their go-to use. I'm going to use them for production of one train. One specific kind of train per portal, produced probably slower than anyone else makes portals produce. Anyone else in the right mind, at least. So... there. I don't need to play by your rules, Nev and 3V. Blame Garrett for making me say Nev. Okay, so we're gonna put this. Gonna put a nice white picket fence around this guy. I just laugh at the white picket fence houses. It's like, oh, you got 2.5 kids, a dog, and a whatever. I don't know. American dream, people. So I'm gonna have to design that, and like I said, we're gonna have to sort of go aside and do some tech demos and see what really works and what doesn't, and then see if we can scale it up for like the big time. And that'll be when we're actually going to the thing. Now, here's the other thing I wanted to get into with the running and whatever. I sort of started to get towards it when I was talking about moving the series over to be, or moving the route reviews over to be technically under construction instead of technically Zombie Train. And the thing I started to get to was the fact that my computer's garbage. And I am fully aware of this. I'm running this map at like a solid 10 frames per second currently. And that's not because the map, I mean, admittedly all of it is overly detailed, but it's not insane, and the map is not that big. Trains is not happy with me, and I'm not happy with Trains, and neither of us are happy with my computer, although I can still, there's love in my heart for it. It is my computer after all. But I do have a new component of computer hardware sitting on top of the computer as we speak. I just have not gotten around to installing it yet. I'll probably install it if I have time this weekend, but I don't think I'm gonna have time this weekend. It might have to wait until I get back to school, which that's something else in its own right. Speaking of which, I'm going back to school on Wednesday. So, the idea that my computer will get better is not a false one. However, the component that I have sitting on top of my computer is not a graphics card, it is not a processor, it is not more dedicated RAM, it is a hard drive. Now, let me do something as a demonstration. See all that waiting we had to do to get all these buildings to show up? That shouldn't be happening. My hard drive is the crippling point for my computer. It will not, when I put it in, it will not help tame frames probably all that much, but what it will help with is just the looking around and getting the pop in. Like so. So it'll load things fast. It's sort of a, I didn't plan to, my next purchase was going to be a graphics card. I didn't plan to make the next purchase necessarily a hard drive, but I'm running low on space. I mean, not low, but I don't have all the space that I could want. And that's kind of important to me. And I got a good deal. It was like $50, $60 for a 2 terabyte hard drive. Not even a Caviar Green one of the faster ones from Western Digital. Western Digital is the bomb, by the way. My previous Western Digital hard drive went out some time ago, and I replaced it with another Western Digital one that was slightly larger. It did not go out like on its, without warning. I realized what was happening. I got the other one. I transferred everything over, and all was right with the world. So I don't intend to transfer everything over. I intend to use this marginally faster hard drive for specifically things that are causing trouble. Right now, that's just Tane. Just Tane and probably Skype, because Skype, with the way it downloads pictures and stuff like that, I would rather move them over to a different hard drive for now. But those are the two programs I'm really thinking of moving over for now, and slowly I'll move everything over. As I install Steam games, they'll get installed over there instead of over here. And by over here, I mean the C drive, and over there, I mean whatever the other drive is going to be called. There. Nope, get rid of it. Goodbye. So, yeah, Tane, you're a son of a gun. But the next computer-related purchase after this, it's going to be a little bit. Don't get your hopes up. The next computer-related purchase after this hard drive right here, unless I have a critical failure of a component. Speaking of which, I need to move my fan. Go spin. I don't want to know how hot that graphics card was. I totally forgot about it. So, if I don't have another critical failure of a component, or if I don't have a critical failure, I haven't had one recently, then the next computer purchase I'm going to get is going to be a video card, and I'm probably going to purchase it on my anniversary, which is Cyber Monday. So I might be hanging out with Madison going, oh, look at these deals! She might not be too happy about that. I've already warned her, but she might not be too happy about that. Spend more time talking with Kevon on my anniversary than with Madison. Kevon is sort of our tech guru. He's a good person to ask when it comes to, hey, should I buy this? What's the best thing on the market? Will this explode? How do I plug this in properly so it doesn't? That kind of stuff. I'm sure you understand. Anyone that's worked like with computers before, I'm sure knows that it's very good to have somebody that you can sort of turn to and be like, hey, this will work, right? And they can give you a firm yes or no. Because nothing's worse than that, like, oh, I plugged everything in right. When I updated my graphics card last time, which was a long, long time ago, still in the history of this channel, though. Very early on in the channel. When I upgraded it last time, I had my friend Jason come over and help me with it. And he is/was, haven't talked to him in a while, good with computers. And so if I was still in touch with him, I'd probably get him over, but what I'm thinking of is it's like giant expensive Legos. It's not really that hard. I just need to not, like, static shock the computer and break everything by accident. So, basically my technique for that is just to stay grounded. I'm not going to invest in a static band because I don't do that kind of work in my computer very often. I totally could, not going to. It's not worth it for me. It's not like they're all that expensive, but I can handle remembering to tap the case between everything I do. Let me see. Where is the last place that I put a hedgerow? Seriously? Has it been that long? Oh, there's that one. No. Wrong thing. I'm dumb. That was entirely my fault. I got uppity at the computer. It was entirely my fault. This street is planned. Oh, there's one right there. They're not loading in. Nothing's loading in. This is why I need to install this new hard drive. Because I need this stuff to actually load in and function. Oh, that looks good. I didn't ever think about doing that. Why didn't I? I've been putting these guys separate. Alright, randomize it. Digitize me, Fred. Name that movie. Not too many. I don't think too many of you are gonna know that reference. And I might have even gotten the name wrong. But anyways. We'll see what we can do. Yeah. If any of my friends in the Iron Horseman group, which is our main Skype group for the uninitiated, which is, do not ask to be added to the Iron Horseman. If any of you guys are listening to this and you want to be on as sort of, hey, let's see what we can do. I might make a special video for that. It's tempting because it's so completely different. It's not really let's build Tolbrand. It's sort of let's experiment in trains. That could be a good thing for Sunday driving almost, although it wouldn't be driving at all. That would be another naming problem. Speaking of which, Sunday driving. So, Sunday driving, like I said, one of the reasons that I sort of put it on hold is the fact that the computer is garbage and doesn't want to... What the hell? I missed a spot. Oh, whatever, just don't look down there. The computer is garbage and I don't want to... I can see spots that I missed. Oh, you know what? I should do, because these areas all have everything. I need to just start to overlay everything with a sort of neutral... Yeah, this is good. Gravel floor. Because I started doing this. And then I stopped because I started running into areas that I hadn't... Yeah. Areas that I hadn't actually... Oh wait, no. Fill this in. Begin. Tell me that I didn't do it elsewhere. Alright, good. I think I can do it out to here. This should be fine. Alright, there we go. Just so that we have something to look at that isn't that. Did this one get it? Nope. No, it did. It's not great, but we could always replace it with something else in the future. I don't think I'm using this texture for anything else. And admittedly, this is the kind of thing that I feel like when I'm going through a route and putting the polish on it, so to speak, getting ready for the release or whatever I'm doing with it, I feel like going through the route and going over it, not with a fine-tooth comb, but with that tool, and using just a neutral, like a dirt texture or something, is something that you should 100% do. And that's because it's far, far worse to accidentally find some grid versus accidentally finding a sort of misplaced looking patch of dirt. Patches of dirt appear fairly often in real life. If you're unlike me and you go outside often, you might notice this. However, grid lines don't necessarily appear on the ground at random in reality. Subtle difference between trains in real life. Now on our next episode, we'll talk about how the world isn't divided up into chunks and there isn't an edge to find anywhere. Or is there? Shush. You know what? That could be interesting. So it'd be like a weird pseudo live stream, although I don't stream this through Steam for the reason that I don't want people trying to jump onto the stream. I always leave my streams open because almost all of my Steam games I can totally handle people coming in and looking at them without a performance hit. Tane? No way. So I'm not gonna do what I'm thinking of now, but I just got a message on Steam in the middle of the show. So what that made me think of is, hey, what if I did that on purpose and had a sort of, like, you could see when I was filming, and then to add more viewer interaction. Instead of just being able to hear me, you could send me any questions that you didn't think of until that moment on Steam, and then I'd answer them right there. But I'm not going to do that because there's no way for you guys to see when I'm actually recording, and I'm not going to make it so. I'm okay with it being the way it is. It's funny, I appreciate, like, the not being big enough to end up with all the nutcases. Don't worry, you're all nuts. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you're not crazy for watching, but the idea that, you know, there are some super fans that want this, that, or the other, and always demanding, and whatever, they tend to only show up in places or positions where the person already has an established, significant following. And I would say I have an established following because I do something that not many other people do, which is make content in trains. But I would not say I have a significant following. You know, I have like, what, 1,600 subs, something like that. We're off of my thing, so I can see. We're done with comments, I mean, so I can check my channel real quick just to verify. I have 1,730 subscribers, so not a huge following. Good for what I'm doing, certainly, and I'm very appreciative of every single one of you. But not exactly. It's not huge. It's not huge. Wow, I can't believe this area is, like, quote-unquote done. even in the littlest degree. Although this area needs work, right? With this. Although does it really? Because it's a freaking... Oh, it needs multiple industries, that's right. And then goods, and then probably... No, it doesn't need an oil siding because that guy... Or no, where is it? That guy right there. That guy probably services a lot of semis. These guys need multiple industries. We need to put one here. This has a buffer, right? Please tell me it has a buffer and I didn't forget one, because that'd be dumb. I'm dumb. It's okay, you're saying we know. Does this have a buffer? No, you do. Give me that. Put you down here. Oh wait, this doesn't have one because, no. I thought it actually just sort of ran into the thing. That would make sense. But, no, let's put this buffer here. And this would be one of the places that gets general goods. Yay. General goods. The most boring commodity ever. I don't know what the hell this place would get. Oh, hardware. So, like, tools. Can you even fit a boxcar under here? Can you fit a 40-foot under this? Let's try the Zion and Skyline Opera's bench. Oh, no, probably not. So only flat cars under here, which would be a little bit awkward. Although, I could just put tractors on them or something. Yeah, so I might not actually put an industry here and just leave this area empty. And if I'm thinking of a new thing, I'll put it here. Or maybe I'll like set up a little shop right here or something. And then just have a boxcar drop off here. That might be interesting. But yeah, this area would get general goods. And then this area would just be for rolling around stuff that you're doing down here. Because do we have a runaround down here? Because I think the answer is no. Yeah, the answer is definitely no. So that's your runaround for doing work up here. So it means have your trucks in a row, have your whatever's in a row before you do this. And then I'm going to put out... I need to get a platform spline to put over here. And we need to find some more interesting commodities, just in general. I think I tried that a little bit last time. It didn't get me anywhere. What was I about to get? Oh, platform spline. That's right, so there should be one here. Give me that. I don't even know how I stumbled across that originally. Yeah, this area is fairly succinct. I like it. And then this, if we wanted to have more stuff going on here, I could activate some of these other industries. Like, this should be like a grain elevator. It's a little bit weird, but that's what it should be. There's nothing to get to it, though, so that's the issue. There's a supply place here, which this does... This does what? Watch this is general goods or something. What is this? Yeah, it's general goods. Why is general goods white now? What happened? Why is my general goods broken? Saxet nitrate. Rice. Road ballast. Red apples. Recycled paper. Products trolley bus. That's interesting. Potassium hydroxide. There are a lot of weird chemicals. Phosphoric acid. Peas. Paper roll. We've got to do something with paper rolls, though. No, no, no. Get rid of that. I didn't want that. Okay, why is general goods... See, now they're fighting back. Okay, see, I used to have 2, now I have 1. Why is my general goods broken? That is the question. Now I'm going to content manager in the show. That's not smart. We don't do that. General goods. Spelled from GLS. General goods built in. Okay, how come I only have 1 in the list now? And if I try to load from them, will they break? Base, obsolete. Okay, but which one do we use? No, not that one. General goods. Spelled from GLS. Oh, okay. Let me guess, it just overrode this one? Oh, no idea. When did we install this? Recently? Whatever. Whatever. Alright, so this should not be... We can find something better than this, I'm sure. We can find something else to offload there. I know we started it for a while last episode, and to no avail, but I'm certain we can find something. Somebody give me an interesting commodity, if you don't mind. You know, what do you want to see shuffled around? What do you want to see put on rail cars and moved back and forth? For an industrial supply, general goods is not general enough. Right, no, it's... General goods, rather, is too general. I would like to make a bajillion different copies of general goods for trains going here, trains going here. This general goods which is required at this exact location. Cattle, invisible. Invisible cows. Literally invisible cows. Cleaner coal. Not clean coal, just cleaner. Cleaner coal. Coal briquettes. C&D debris, that's something we should use. Copper bars on pallets. Copper sheets, copper cordwood product. 4 different kinds of debris called trash. Dishwasher. Food processors boxed on pallet. Here's the thing. There should be... We have 2 kinds of general goods. We have 2 kinds of general goods. I have the answer I'm looking for already. Oh my god. Okay, that's awesome. I don't know why that was a revelation. We have 2 different kinds of general goods. So, the general goods that the main industries output can be different than the general goods that everything else takes in. So what I should do is build a warehouse complex somewhere that takes in the old style general goods, the white one now, and puts out the new style, or not the new style, but the other kind of general goods that we can use. And that's what you have to bring back. So you have to take stuff somewhere and then bring it back, and it actually has a purpose. Because it's like collecting all the different kinds of general goods and outputting them as literal general goods, like any kind of good. That was a brainwave. I'm gonna have to use that one. I've come up with so many good things in this show. Like this show alone, not even like this show in general. I just mean today. Alright, so I need a multiple industry down here. Also, I have like 3 blocks of town left, and one of them is basically a beach block. I need to build a parking lot. I need to put some houses here, houses here, houses here, beach and stuff. Also, this area needs to be filled in with grass and trees. Yeah, parking lot is what I need right here. I'll pave paradise. And then we're almost done with all of them. Then we are like finishing touches away from being done with all of them. That is incredible. That is incredible. I'm honestly stunned saying that out loud. It feels like we've come so far. The only thing left is this chunk right here. Unfriggin' believable. Alright, we do need to get those multiple industries out though. I should not lollygag too long with the thinking about that. And should I, like, put long multiple industries here so we can load multiple stretches of cars at once? I know it's maybe not the most realistic thing, but I think I'm gonna do it just for the sake of it. Just for the sake of it, because if not working there would be so unbelievably annoying. Alright, so let's grab this. That's a 20-meter multiple industry. Chris is playing Terraria? What the hell? Was there chatter in the Terraria? No, there wasn't. No, not that. There we go. This is gonna be straight in the way of that building, though. There's gonna be no way I'm gonna be able to grab this, huh? Yep. Grrr. Go away. Alright. There we go. Oh, you son of a gun. I've been bamboozled. Alright, this. So, what I need is... What is this place called? What are we calling this area here? This is the North Industrial Park. Or Industrial Park North. Olive... Oh, nope. Olive Industrial Park North Stores. And basically we're gonna do the same thing. I wish I could we're gonna do the same thing, except we are gonna do it with the new kind of general goods. See, now we have the two kinds. So let's go with the second one. That's the right one. It's limited to 256. Let's set the size as 256 because we have a bunch of stores here. And then start with 50 tons of goods. Waybills 80%, so we can bring plenty of goods here. Actually, I'll lower this down to 150. Because it's just some... No, 200. 250 for each store. I think we have 4 stores. So... Oh yeah, so 142 units... Oops. 142 units is almost 2/3. Okay, so there we go. Tracks, multiple pickup drop-off. Oh, look, Tane crashed. That's a new one. Let's get back into it. So, yes, I'd like to stop the recording compulsory. I hope I do not lose too much footage because of that. I also hope I don't lose too much progress. I'm not sure when the last time we've autosaved is. So let's go back into it. Oh, I don't even have the thing open. Games. Tane. I'm going to have a hell of a black space here. I'm not sure what you guys are going to look at while we do this. Start trains. So I wonder if that's reproducible then. Or if it's just a random thing that I could work on. Alright, so we are back. It's saying that I'm recording this, but I'm not. Alright, I'm gonna record it though. 3, 2, 1. Recording. And then let's do sync. Sync. That's not great because that isn't actually... That actually has a delay on it. Sync. Now. How about... Oh, let's do... Wait, why is the last one this one? Why do we not have an autosave from point? Have we not been autosaving at all? Has autosaving been off? Because son of a gun, that would not be good. see. Settings. General settings. Control settings. No. Where do I set that then? I thought it would be in train settings or something. Daily backups to keep 7. No, that's not what I want. Well, let's see. It's, whoops. Didn't need to click on that. It's saying this is new. But I doubt it's new. Like new. Because it doesn't have the updates to this. So I can only assume that it has not been auto-saving, in which case that's very unnerving, because that means we just lost a lot of progress. Oh! Use changes. Could that be it? Does it not need to autosave anymore because of this magical new thing that Tane does? I'm sure it does. I'm sure the not autosaving is a problem that I need to correct. So that's not great. Once again, you're here one more time. There's not much to look at in terms of asking it to change those settings. And I don't know what I would be looking at. No, I'm looking at the water again. So I'm going to assume that nothing's changed. Well, how would I be able to tell right off? No, things have definitely changed because this was not here before. This was not here before. Have we moved the building yet? That's sort of the biggest thing. Is this building still here? No, it's moved, so we're all up to date. Holy crap. Let's save. Yeah, override existing session. Oh, why are we loading and why are we in the loading screen? That's different. Okay, so here we were. Let's see if we can reproduce that. Let's see if we can. This might not be the smartest thing to do, I'm gonna be completely honest. Okay, so we've got this. This has not changed, but let's not do anything. Let's just go and get general goods. General goods. No, the second one. The second one. General goods. Don't change anything. Just go to tracks. Hasn't crashed yet. Plus, general goods. Okay, so I guess that's fine. Must have just been a fluke then. Unload from vehicle. First crash I've had on camera and under construction. Olive. Oh, right. Need to rename this. Olive. What did I call it? South Industrial Park Stores. Alright, so make the size like we said. Make it 200. Hopefully we don't fuck this out again. Somehow, however we did that. 50. Alright, and then tracks. We already did that. Just unload from vehicle processes. Every, sure, 60 seconds. Actually, let's do something longer. Let's do like 120. Just consume a general good. Okay, well, you didn't want to save that, I guess. Fine, let's do 90, make you happy. Happy now? Products. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Alright, so we have that now. Let's move this building back. I need the storefronts to be like... Oh, that's right. They need to be moved over. That's the issue. They go this way. I like how this door is... Well, no, it's a regular door. Alright, so that's fine. We now know how we're going to do this general goods thing. And so that means I need to change the other thing over to general goods. Or the other kind of general goods. Because this also unloads general goods. Oops, wrong thing, though. So, instead of using this kind of general goods... Why is it 359 instead of 256? General goods. Let's get the other general goods out. So, general goods, we'll do it the same as this. Start with 100 tons. Oh, wait. 65 tons. Is it because this is full? Alright, 100 tons. 65 tons. Sure, why not? Let's turn this down. Well, actually, let's just leave it at... let's do it to 200. I'll do it the same as the other one. I'll just do it... No, not 2,000. Wrong button. 200. No, not 2,000. Okay, it doesn't like that, I guess. We'll leave it as 2,000. Get rid of that. Just the other kind of general goods. Unload for vehicle. Processes. Consume a general goods. I'd see, for you, 2 tons is 1 unit. For you, 1 ton is 1 unit. Okay, so get rid of you. Every 30 seconds you consume something. And every 60 seconds, someone, somewhere. I've already said that all the time. And every time I feel like I'd go through one of these, the stupid Tempur-Pedic ad comes into my head. Now let's do 256. Yeah. So we do we know what's in the general goods? No, we don't. But we know that we're gonna put stuff into the general goods. So this place does some interesting things. This uses general goods. This outputs general goods. Okay, sure, that's fine. I'm okay with plenty of things outputting general goods. But I'm gonna put a strict sort of embargo on it. It's not. Oh, you know what we can do while we're here? Let's go into utility. We need to keep an eye on this now, because this is we have a different benchmark of how long the episode has gone for. Industry link. Hello, industry link. Hello, hello. Add product link. From... Oh, I get how it works, I think. I don't know how it works. How do these work? Olive plastic loader, olive plastic crude unload. Oh, okay, I get it. From olive plastic crude unload to... You know what, this is going to be one of the things we experiment with, so I'm not going to get into this right now. I'm not entirely sure how that works. I'm not going to try guess and check error method while we're in Tolgrid, because I don't want to break anything. Okay, so what else? What else? What is this place? This place makes furniture, right? That's it? Or no, it takes in wood. It takes in wood, like lumber, and it produces railroad ties and wood furniture. Now, the railroad ties don't get treated here. We actually need to take them somewhere else to get treated. So, they can't stay here. This produces general goods. I'm fine with that. Let's see. So let's go back to the other thing we were working on. And so this area, I don't have a use for this area yet. I'm wondering what I can have as like a weird little commodity for this spot right here. But it's at the end of this road, and I don't really know what I could put here. The only thing I could think of would be have a construction debris thing, but that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It really doesn't. Oh, I meant to put the platform in. I totally forgot about that. Let's go grab the platform and put that in. So I guess things aren't needed anymore. The auto saving isn't needed because of the changes thing. Going through changes. Sorry, I've been listening to Black Sabbath lately. I don't know why. It's been stuck in my head. Never Say Die was in my head all day at work, and that was really strange to be sitting there with my two co-workers trying not to sing Ozzy Osbourne. It probably would have given me a little bit of a sideways look. But who am I to care? It's, you know, it was my 4th last day there. I'm kidding, you should really leave a good impression whenever you leave someplace. You want everyone to recommend you to wherever you go next. Especially if you work in an industry that's, I wouldn't say self-contained, but where people know people. And it's not, I don't mean to say it like that in sort of a gossipy way, because it's not done as sort of a, ooh, he said, she said. It's as a, you know, businesses legitimately want to know if you're going to be a good employee, and good employee extends to a huge number of things that most people don't even think about. I certainly don't. I'm a terrible employee. I'm kidding. Future employers, if you look me up on YouTube and find this video, I'm kidding. I actually got some pretty good feedback from people I'm working with. So now I need an actual 40-foot boxcar to gauge where the door is supposed to be. Let's get one of these. Let's get one of my favorite. Let's raise it up by like twice what we raised it up. So let's actually just bring it to 8. Let's see how it looks at 8. That actually looks good. I feel like it should be farther over. It's just not wide enough. Whatever, it's fine. I'm sure they have like a little board that they can use to put across the gap. It's gonna be like a, not a team track, but just like a place to sit next to cars. This place is gonna be one of those general goods places. Now that I've worked out how general goods is going to work, I can have a lot of general goods coming into this place. It should be like a general goods, a little bit of furniture. Although I might have furniture get taken somewhere else, like specifically somewhere else, and not here. Because we do enough internal switching. Yeah, we do enough internal switching with over there. I don't need to have cars that get carried from the industries over there to the industries over here. And that's it. I don't feel like it's necessary. It's gonna be bad enough is what I'm trying to say. Alright, so I need you. I don't want the industry, like I want you right there, multiple industry. And I want the 60-meter version. I want 2 of these. Because they're gonna be at these department stores unloading but tons of goods. For all intents and purposes now, this is a department store. It's not really, but it is now. So I'm gonna move this over. We need to line it up better though. So I need to grab it, and no, I don't need to roll it. I need to just get it parallel as good as I can. That looks like it's gonna be as good as I'm gonna get it, so now I need to place it right on top. Oh, almost. There we go. Check the other end looks good. Now let's hook it up and add it, call it a day, or at the very least hook it up. It does get a little bit monotonous when the game doesn't want to cooperate. Hey, we made it, 21 episodes or whatever. How long? I don't know how long we've been going for. Oh, I should just look it up on here instead of going back. Whatever. Yeah, we made it 21 episodes without experiencing a crash. In Tane. With all of this junk scattered around it. I mean all these guys back here, all the trees. Oh yeah, we can actually see them from here. That's impressive on its own. That's a good thing that happened. These are the guys who are not supposed to have a siding. Whoa, was it just me, or did the whole UI just disappear for a second? I just glanced up to notice it coming back. I'm not sure if that's just me, if that's the UI bugging out, or if that's me bugging out. You know, the bike ride today might have taken a worse toll than I expected. But yeah, I am excited for the sort of weird things we're gonna get to test in Tollbrand. I'm honestly excited. Or, you know, test for Tollbrand. So, next episode I might do that instead. I want to hear from you guys if you guys want me to go and do testing and do science next episode. So, if you want me to do that, say it, and I'll check the comments when I'm going into the video, and we'll go and do that instead. If you want me to just continue working on Olive, if you have a specific thing you want me to work on in Olive, say that as well. You know, again, if you just want me to work on Olive. Of course, if you have a thought responding to any of the things where I was like, oh, if you think of this, if you think of that, if you know this movie, if you know, whatever, feel free to comment that as well. But, of course, no commitment. Let's do this real quick to make sure, like, these guys are gonna hover a little, but not anything really significant. Let's see, can I get away with that? Oh, it wants to sync, doesn't it? It does. Can I? No, I can't, like... Oh, whatever, we'll leave that like that. It's in the dirt, who cares? Reams! Food bargain warehouse. Oh, it's a food warehouse. Oh, we need to get some food dropped off here, too. Deli, bakery, videos. Videos? That seems... One of these things is not like the other. Alright, so I'm going to have this unload videos. Now I'm going to have it unload food and other stuff. Let me grab that again. Oh, wait, no, we have it over here. No, we don't. Yeah, we do. Right here. Alright, spin this guy 90 degrees. Here's the thing. If we make him, right? If we make this guy, and then copy and paste him, can I do that? I don't think I can do that because he will be in industry. I'm not sure if I can copy paste industries. Whatever, I'm not going to worry about it. Let's just place 4 of these. Won't be that bad. Alright. We're almost there. I need to get these things settled into place. The thing is, these guys are... Oh, that's right, because they'll conform to whatever you attach to them. That's right, I forget. I'm going to try to encourage people to not run these things through the buffers, through the concrete. But they do have to get them up close to the end. There's more track in there. I will probably... I think, theoretically, I should be able to manipulate it just fine without moving these guys out of the way. But if I need to, I can. Mason was describing some interesting things you can do with layers to sort of alleviate the problems that come up when you have things in the way. Mason, you're wicked smart. Just letting you know. Let's do this for all 4 at once, and then that'll be the last thing we do this video. Break that, break that. Hey, break the thing. I know it's down there. There it is. There we go. All right, and now snap it, snap it, snap it, pop it, twist it. No, go attach to him. There we go. I don't attach to anything, you attach to him. You can tell it's successful when the thing changes and all the ties and gravel disappears. Right, you go over there. Alright, now we're gonna attach these guys to the end of track. I'm sure it's fine. The other thing we neglected is, so we're gonna have interstates. We're gonna have the fledgling interstate system that's coming into being in the 1950s. The thing we neglected is the idea that the interstate would probably follow the coast. So I'm gonna have to bring the interstate like down in here to basically give an excuse as to why we haven't seen it yet. But anyways, let me do a last one. Sink. Sink. That's better. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next week. Leave all your comments and concerns in the section below and I will read them. So, Trainman out.